First pick in the 2005 NBA draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Andrew Bogut from Australia and the University of Utah.
His #1 selection in the NBA draft.
Hello guys, Sacramento Gaming here. What is going on? Today, I am back again with another NBA story time. It's been a while since I've uploaded, but I've just been busy. Not really, but I just needed just to get motivated and make more videos, but this NBA story time is different. The last two ones, like Bedlam Bias, Mouse in the Palace, everyone's really touched. Like, everyone's really fully done a whole video on that. And I did that too, but today I'm going to be talking about someone that no one really ever talks about. The forgotten center, Andrew Bogut. So first, I want to start off with the positive things, you know, like the accolades that he piled up during his career. He was an NBA champion in 2015. He was an All-NBA third team in 2010. An All-NBA All-Defensive second team in 2015. He was a part of the NBA All-Rookie first team in 2006. He was the NBA blocks leader in 2011. National College Player of the Year for 2005, Consensus First Team All-American 2005, MWC Player of the Year 2005, MWC Freshman of the Year 2004, number 4 retired by the University of Utah, and he was a FIBA Under-19 World Championship MVP in 2003. So as you can see, he had a lot of accolades, definitely, and well, he represents Australia in the Olympics, his own country, where he comes from. And so, yeah. So, Andrew Michael Bogut was born 28th of November, 1984. And he was the first Australian ever to be picked first overall. He was picked first overall in the 2005 draft by the Milwaukee Bucks, and in his rookie season he was looking like an absolute beast. Like, he was looking amazing. He looked like he would have been worth the first overall pick. And he also earned All-NBA third team honors with the Bucks in 2010. But then, you know, about, I would say, let me think here. About 7 years into his career, 2012, he was traded to the Golden State Warriors, which he played for I think about 2 years, 2014, 2015, and 16. And then there he was named All-NBA defensive second, all-defensive second team. And then he won a championship. Of course, the famous championship 14 to 15, where Curry had the blowout season. You know, he aided in that championship. You know, Bogut played college ball for about 2 years with Utah. And he was just an absolute beast. And, and then he learned all-league honors in 2010 after averaging a career-high 15.9 points per game, along with 10.2 rebounds per game. And then the 11 to 12 season was bad because he got a gnarly ankle injury, and that would be the start of his injuries, basically. So That's how he got traded to Golden State. Then he got traded to Golden State. And then that's when the injuries would come back to haunt him. And then he would never be the same. You know, you still see glimpses of the old Andrew Bogut that, you know, you still see. But I never really watched him personally. You know, this year he was with the Mavs. I think he also suffered another knee injury there. He just never could stay healthy. Which sucks because this is literally the story of the rise and fall of the center Andrew Bogut. You know, who could have had a great career but just couldn't stay healthy. And, you know, this year he did get traded to Philadelphia for like Nerlens Noel. But then he ended up going into free agency and signing with Cleveland. And a lot of you might know this already, but 1 minute into the game versus the Heat, he ended up suffering an awful knee injury. And people don't know how long he's going to be out for, but they know that the injury is not looking too good. And I bet you all you Andrew Bogut fans feel for him, because he could have had a career. He still does show flashes of that for his former self before any of his injuries. You know, but he's just not, he hasn't been the same ever since, and it's somewhat sad to see that, considering, you know, that happens to a lot of players. Like Greg Oden, for example, another center who's picked first overall. I'm not saying Bogut was a bust. No, he was far from a bust. He's still a pretty decent player, but just seeing him, you know, it's always seemed to be knees problems with him. Same with Yao Ming, picked first overall. He was a good center, but then he started to get injured and he had to retire early. It just seems to be a pattern, but I really want to cover, you know, everyone's covered Yao Ming and everyone's covered Greg Oden, definitely, but I don't really see videos on Andrew Bogut, so I decided I want to cover him. But, you know, he did have some good moments in his career. You know, if it does end up ending a bit short and early, you know, just remember, you know, his good moments. Don't remember his injuries, you know, him struggling in the league. Just remember, you know, all those good moments that he had in the NBA. Because, you know, injuries can really bring an NBA player down. And there's nothing you can do about it. And then eventually you might have to retire. And if he does that, just don't cry. I don't imagine you guys, but some of you might, if you're like hardcore Bogut fans. And don't, like, just, you know, try to understand, like, I'd rather see him, you know, not have a bunch of knee problems and injuries, you know, have fractured knees and all that a lot. And I'd rather see him out of the NBA and healthy. I know a lot of you guys might hate on me for that, but would you rather see him, like, dealing with a bunch of knee injuries, or just, you know, living his life happily, not having to deal with any of that, really? You know, it would be kind of sad if his career did come up short, but, you know, he did aid the Warriors in 2015, and he did have somewhat of a pretty decent career. So, you guys just need to remember all that. So, that will be the end of this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this NBA story time. You know, if you have any requests for any more NBA story times, just write it down in the comments below, and I'll be happy to see what I can do about that. So I hope to see you guys again soon. Back again for another NBA story time. This is the end of this story.